Hey, Peacock 45 here. We get a lot of requests to do AK cleaning videos, and we're going to do one. Now, it's true that you can fire these things for thousands and thousands of rounds, untold thousands of rounds, no doubt, without really cleaning and giving them much service. And some of you may do that. I'm sure that happens around the world quite often. Well, I don't do that. I've talked about that in a radio show or two, how it might fire for 10,000 rounds or 20,000 rounds without a cleaning, but that's not the way I treat my firearms, whether it's a Glock, a 1911, a Smith & Wesson, a Colt, or an AK, okay? So we're going to show you what we do, what I do to clean my AK after I have, really almost every time I have fired it. If I have fired it one day, and I know I'm going to shoot the next day maybe I give it a cursory cleaning, spray it down, and don't worry about it. But I don't really know sometimes whether the ammo is corrosive or not. You know, some of it says it's not, but it is, and you know, there's big arguments and debates about that. So I generally don't just get it out and shoot it a little bit and then maybe shoot it a little bit the next week. When I'm in the mood to shoot an AK, it's kind of like muzzle loaders, I'm going to shoot the thing. We're going to get out and have big fun with it, do video, you know, maybe put a bump fire stock on it, whatever we're going to do, and shoot it quite a bit. And then I go ahead and clean it pretty well, because I might not fire it again for a month. Could be 4 months, could be 3 days. You never know, do you? But here's what I do to my AK. So first of all, you want to get this banana magazine out of there, right? And then it has just been fired, and we have fired this thing. And so what I do is I grab my magic cleaner, I spray down the barrel. Okay, the barrel is dirty. I'll spray in there. Okay, so I go ahead and get it started. Let the ballistol starts doing its thing. Okay, and if the barrel really looks rough, you know, I'll spray the barrel some. Okay, give us a flash suppressor there a little bit. That thing sprayed down. As you know, you've been around a little bit and seen some of my cleaning videos. I don't spare the cleaner or the oil, and I'll just spray there the gas tube. You know, 'cause I'm going to be taking that out. I'll just go ahead and get it started soaking. Sometimes I'll do that out here on the shooting range. We bring these guns out to do this out here. Generally, it's just the light's better and everything got lots of rooms. It's more difficult to film this kind of thing in the reloading room. So I'll just spray it down like that. Maybe we're shooting something else. I might, you know, hit the bolt. You know, just can't hurt it, right? And so time is our friend, and so it's working on it. Then I will start taking it apart, maybe if I'm in, you know, the cleaning mode. And let's just take the housing off here and get started. Usually that's not very dirty, but you never know. Get the carrier back and the piston out. Okay, now, so these are some of the dirtiest parts, as you can see. It hasn't had a great deal of shooting, but I'll go ahead and spray that down. There's another vent being out here too. Just spray things, not worry about it. Take the bolt out of the carrier, spray it down, let it be soaking, okay? Nothing can hurt here. Just let it be soaking. Good stuff, and take good care of it. Now, some of you are probably thinking, wow, Peacock is so obsessive. Maybe so, maybe not. But I would like for this gun to look like it looks now in 10 years, 20, 30 years. You know? Now, of course, it's easier to get to some of the parts there, not a problem. Oh, look at that, the gas tube. Let's spray up in there. Of course, we don't have to do that. Let's go ahead and take it off, and then we get to it easier. And let's see, I usually use this little method, get that tap loose. Okay. It's really stiff on the arsenal, and that's why I do that. Very stiff. And pull up on that, and sometimes I need a little help. Get it started. Put the gas tube off. Cover. There we go. And now that is as far as I break it down. Okay. That gives you access to everything. And of course, you don't have a lot of grit down there in the, the hammer and trigger area. It's now it could get to the point where you do if you fired it enough, I guess, but you don't see much down in there. And we fired a couple of magazines. I know we didn't get it really gritty, but we fired a couple of mags. And if we have fired a great deal, quite often we'll have a lot of grit right in here. And I use, of course, my old Q-tips that a lot of people don't like, but you can see there's dirt there, and grit, carbon. And like I say, if you're firing ammo that is suspect, and I don't worry about whether it's corrosive or not. Now, don't use the Windex. I just go ahead and use the Ballistol. I've been doing it for a long time, and the Mosin and the SKS, all the firearms where I do fire steel case ammo. Seems like it's, I guess, mainly the Russian firearms, right? And so I get that clean right in there, and I work on that some, and make sure we're lubricated well and clean right here. Up in here, make sure we're plenty of lube. Like I say, these are things you don't have to do. This firearm would run just fine for many more thousands of rounds, I guess. But I don't mind cleaning. And since we're kind of on the clock here, and you're watching, you have things to do. You probably have dinner waiting, someplace to go. I'm kind of moving along a little bit faster than I normally would. But I just sit and thoroughly just enjoy doing this, to tell you the truth, as I have spoken of before. Cleaning is part of the game. It's part of the hobby in a lot of ways. Now, another thing I do right away, which I didn't do here, is I go ahead and make sure I've got cleaner going into that gas tube. It comes out of the barrel. And hopefully you've seen our videos on that, how these things work. The gas operated firearm, there's actually a hole in the barrel, and as the bullet moves out through the barrel, the gas behind it shoots up into there, pushes that piston back. The gas piston back is what pushes back the bolt and operates the thing and everything. Okay, so there's a hole in the barrel. Okay, so if I spray in there enough, you see it running out the end of the barrel. That tells me it's going through without any doubt, right? Okay, see, no problem, is it? So I never spare the lube, the cleaner. All right. Nice. This is a nice rifle, and I just like to take care of it. It doesn't matter whether it's a nice rifle or not. If this was a $200 AK, I don't know if there are any of those anymore, be doing the same thing. I don't sleep well if I know I have fired some possibly corrosive ammo, even in an old AK or a Mosin or anything, and I just haven't cleaned it. Because again, that's part of the fun, part of the hobby. Cleaning these things up where they're like new again. Okay. Now we're kind of in the soaking stage, and I'm just going to let that barrel soak a little bit more. I'll look at the bolt here and be working on it. And I like toothbrushes, and I get some cheap ones here that a user gave me a link. I forgot where the heck it was, but I got a couple hundred of these cheap toothbrushes somewhere for almost nothing online about a year ago. And of course you can buy these, at the gun shows usually, and they're a little more expensive, but those are nice. And make sure this is clean. If I had fired it more, you'd see a lot of grit coming out of there, and I'd have to let that soak, or I would let it soak a little bit longer. So get the bolt clean, lubed. Make sure got all that grit off of it, if there was any powder residue. And that bolt's in pretty good shape already. I could live with that. All right. Then the carrier. AK is an interesting firearm. There's no doubt about it. The simplicity of it, the rugged nature of it, that carrier and bolt, just the way it operates, is it's an impressive piece. It really is. And there may be something here I'll skip. If there's something I skip, I'll tell you about it, just in the interest of time or where we are. Yeah, here, or in case I forgot something. Carbon buildup. That's like the bolt on an AR. That's where you're going to get it first. That's going to show. I'll use this if it's not too bad. Some of the Scotch-Brite type stuff, and work on that. I have been known to use a Dremel tool, and this probably will get it pretty clean. Yeah, that's what I say. Time is your friend. Let it soak a little bit. There we go. That's not bad at all. I can live with that. that probably doesn't even have to be clean. I don't know how much carbon buildup that would handle and still fire. Probably quite a lot, because the tolerances are pretty loose. And there, the carrier is pretty much back in good shape. Yeah, good shape. Okay, and you see the grit on my hand. So I mean, it's dirty. It's just not absolutely filthy. Okay, so that's in pretty good shape. That's ready to go back in, along with the bolt. Spring, how much to do on that? That's in good shape. Okay, cover, good shape. Not a problem with that. All right, now we have the piston tube here. Now that it does pick up some crud, of course, because you know that's where it's coming out into that. So I will spray that down really well. This is why in some videos you see the barrel smoking, because I am not shy with the lube. I'm just not. I mean, it doesn't hurt anything. It's not going to catch fire. I don't leave lakes of it in there or anything. So here you have something that is not exactly the same size as the bore, right? So it looks more like a shotgun barrel. So I will tend to use something else. I'll even forget, okay, what is it that I do use? Sometimes I'll grab something like this that I've had around for a while, and that fits pretty well. There's a lot of crud in there, and I've been known to just put a patch on that even, or one of these Glock cleaning rods, you know, put a patch around it. Just some different things. Experiment. A 410 shotgun cleaning kit might work really well for this, or I don't know, maybe a 12 gauge. I think I've tried a 12 gauge. There you go. See? They just run something through there. I believe this other one will work too. I keep all this hanging in the reloading room, and I'll just grab stuff, and quite honestly, I use something different, I think, each time. There we go. That's a little bit tighter. So yeah, that's a little bit better. I think that's what I usually use right there. And you see that little grit. And again, if you're using corrosive ammo, you know, that might worry you a little bit. So if you've got a buddy, or if you are that person, and you haven't cleaned your AK in about a year, you just go out and shoot, and you're impressed, and you brag about how it doesn't need cleaning, that's fine. But this has just had 2 or 3 magazines of ammo through it, and you see what I have there in this. So just know that you have that crud in there, possibly eating away, I don't know, at the metal. I don't know, maybe not. Of course, you could replace that if you had to, but oh yeah, shiny. That's good. Let me run a dry cloth through. Now this is why, again, you see the smoke coming off the barrel after we fire 2 or 3 full magazines at maybe a high rate of speed, because if there's anything in there, it might just start sizzling a little bit. Okay, so I wouldn't have to be maybe quite so obsessive even giving it this really good cleaning. I guess I treat it so that I could just put it in a closet in a safe and leave it for a year, and it just wouldn't matter. Wouldn't even have to think about it. That's what I like to do. And keep it lubed and oiled. And again, whatever cleaner you like, it probably is fine. The main thing is you just clean and use it, and don't be afraid to use it. With the Balisol, because it is a cleaner, preservative, lube, and everything, I like to have some extra on there. It just stays on there, and got a little film of that, and I know I'm good to go. See, that's like a new part now, right? Inside and out. Now, okay, we got that. We have everything except the actual barrel, pretty much, and then in here. Now, what I do too, and I haven't done that, I should have done it while I had the same, is take this right through this trunk in here, get some, because there's some in there, run these same patches through there. Not quite as bad, see? And let's put a couple together, see what we get out. Yeah, that's not too bad. And I sprayed, you recall. Let me spray some more. Okay. Just doesn't hurt a thing to keep it clean. And it's actually an enjoyable endeavor, really, for me, and I think for most of you die-hard shooters, to take your firearm after you've enjoyed it and then just break it down, clean it up, and get it back like new. It's not that bad. It's a labor of love, as I say. And yeah, while you're doing it, you want to caress it every now and then. The firearm knows you care about it, or you wouldn't be cleaning it, putting all this time in on it, right? So I just don't get in a hurry. I don't even have necessarily a little system where, uh-oh, I normally clean this first. You know, I just kind of whatever strikes me. As long as I get it all clean and get it ready to go, I'm all right. Now, something I've not done is the barrel, or right here, you know, where the piston strikes. So let's, I think what I use for that usually, and that's tough, that's tricky. You notice I made sure it was soaking, because you know, I don't spare the ballistol there, because it's difficult to get back in there and get all of that out sometimes. I tend to use this one right here, the patch on it, get the worst of that out. Again, this is one of those that comes with most Glocks. As you can imagine, I happen to have a few of those around. I put a patch on it, and you see you've got some of that crud in there. Let's get a cleaner patch. This is 2 patches. Let's see if that works. I think it does. Yeah, get a couple in there, pretty tight. Yeah, it's not too bad. Better patch. And get some more crud out of there. And you remember I ran a lot of it, went right on down in there and out the barrel. Okay. Well, it's looking better. And I'll even use Q-tips in there. Before I go any further with it, I'm going to run something through the actual barrel too, because you could have so much crud in the barrel that it runs back up in there. I tend to use a bore snake on these. I have several 30 caliber bore snakes. After one of the cleaning videos, somebody clued me in that it actually has the caliber on that little piece of brass. I didn't even know that. I've been using these things for 2 or 3 years, and somebody wrote me, or they wrote in a comment, because I had, I don't know, I made some comment about how it's hard to keep up with what caliber they are. I try to remember by the color, and I didn't even know that. How's that for being clueless? Okay, I've got so much ballistol lube in the barrel. Now, on the wooden floor in the shed, I'll tap it on the floor, get that through. Come on now. Come on, AK. You're on camera, you got to cooperate. Get on through there. You want to go to it. Okay. There's so much stuff in there. There we go. It's drowning. To help, I can't get through. I'm floating in here, clogged. Okay. I do like the bore snakes for rifles, especially. They're really nice. All right. So now that bore, it looks really clean. Looks beautiful, shiny. Okay. Now I feel better about running another patch into this area right here. Okay, and I'm not going to belabor it. You kind of have the idea of what I do. So I'll just do one more here maybe, and get that. I mean, that's where the rubber meets the road. That's where all that gas escapes from the barrel. It's up in there, and I feel like I've neutralized, you know, all of that residue, you know, with by soaking it in the ballistol. But I still like to get most of the crud out. Now I know if there's anybody, you know, in certain parts of the world watching this, thinking, oh, in some language, I've never cleaned my AK in the last 10 years. This American is quite foolish. See, I still got more, didn't I? So there's almost no end to how you could get crud, you know, here and there, and get some brown patches back out, but that really does a pretty good job. That's not too bad. Let me spray it down there. I'm actually going to shoot this gun over the next couple of weeks some more, so I'm not going to get it museum quality clean right now, but I want to get it in really good shape, okay, before it goes away for a few days or a week or two. And there we go. That's pretty much clean. So and well preserved. That's the main thing. Okay, we got the right lube that I like, that does the job, and I know that it's not going to deteriorate any place where there is dirt. So I have quite a mess here, of course, but I'm not used to dragging all this out here except for you guys. Now, I have no idea how to put it back together. Let's see. The leg bone connected to the hip. Let's see. Let's go. Okay, let's put the gas tube back on there. Cover. All right. I'm not doing anything stupid now. No, that's right. That needs to go on. Okay. And we bolt back in here. AKs are just interesting firearms. Interesting. And they work. Okay. Probably leave a part out here. I think they might work even if I leave something out, right? Alright, get the bolt in the carrier. The bolt needs to be forward. It won't go down into the slot. Hammer down. About 1 out of 3 times I kind of struggle a little bit with this. Get the bolt turned right. There we go. And of course, since I'm on camera, this will be one of those 3 times I struggle. Well, I don't really struggle, it's just you gotta get it right. Back in that notch. And okay, now the AK people are laughing at me. I really don't have that much trouble usually. There we go. All right. Okay, spring back in, recoil spring. Again, I'm not normally feverishly trying to get it back together. Not that I'm doing that now, but I know you don't want a 50-minute video on this. Okay. And now, she's back together, and we'll put this little lever down so she's really back. Again, it's really stiff on this gun, and there are ways to loosen that up. I know I just haven't done it, and get this in a better position. There we go. Turn it all the way down. There, carefully tap that down, and let's see if it looks like it's going to fire. All right. Pretty good shape. Now, it just doesn't look right without the magazine, though, does it? Yeah. Okay. Now, that's what I do. Okay, you can make fun of me all you want, but that's kind of what I do, except I do it more slowly, with more loving care, probably. I might let it soak a little bit more, and I might even go after a few more of those pieces of grit here and there, if I know it's going to be put away for a while. But these are nice guns. I don't care what you pay for it, whether you pay $300 for one or you pay $1,000 or $2,000 for one. They're just wonderful firearms. They're a piece of history. I know this one doesn't look so much historical with that stock on it, but again, I'm 6'8", and it fits me like a glove. It's the reason I like AKs. You put that short stock on it, I don't like it at all, even though it looks, looks great. So the AK, that's what I do to clean it when I'm going to put it away a while. They'll work without doing that, but I just like to treat my guns better than that. That's all I can say. Life is good.